Hello. Did you know that Christ has already returned? It's true. I'm going to prove it to you. I'll prove to you that the Bible prophecies for the return of Christ have already been fulfilled. The second coming of Christ was foretold in many ways, but the most important prophecies are for his name, the address where he will appear, the date he will appear, and the mission he will accomplish. Today we are going to get into a few of the prophecies for the name of the return of Christ, and I will show you how the prophet of the Baha'i faith, named Baha'u'llah, fulfilled these prophecies. You can see a full transcript of this video at the website called RockyMountainBaha'i.com. That's RockyMountainBaha'i.com. Look for the link to the proofs of Baha'u'llah. So let's get into the prophecies for the name of the return of Christ. Baha'u'llah was prophesied by name from the lips of no less than Jesus himself. Now, if Jesus tells us that Baha'u'llah is coming, who are we to say that he is wrong? What Christian could say that Jesus didn't know what he was talking about? If Jesus says Baha'u'llah is going to come, why would anybody say anything different? Jesus prophesied Baha'u'llah by name in Mark 8:38. For whosoever is ashamed of me and my words in this adulterous and sinful generation, of him will the Son of Man also be ashamed, when he comes in the glory of his Father with the holy angels. Jesus spoke Aramaic, which was the language of the Middle East in his time. When Jesus spoke the words, glory of the Father, he didn't use the English words to say this. Rather, he used the Aramaic words for glory of the Father, which are written like this, Baha'u'llah. The word Baha means glory. The contraction Ullah is short for of Allah, or of God the Father. The name that is foretold for prophets is often the name of the message they bring. Jesus brought a message that brings us as close to God as if we are God's sons. Therefore, Jesus' message was referred to as the Son of God message. Moses was called the lawgiver, and he brought the 10 laws or commandments of God. Similarly, the return of Christ brings a message that makes mankind fully acquainted with the splendor or glory of the thoughts of God the Father. Thus, those who had visions of the coming of the return of Christ referred to him as the Father, the glory of the Father, or the glory of God the Father. The revelations sent by God through the prophets increase in potency as time goes by. At first we are given a message that is more like milk for a baby. Later we are given a message that is more like meat for a grown adult. Belief in the first Messiah makes believers sons of God. Belief in the return of Christ makes believers followers of the glory of God. The word Baha'i means follower of glory. Jesus said the Son of Man, quote, when he comes, is going to return in, quote, the glory of the Father. The words when he comes refer to the fact that Baha'u'llah is going to be a man. The fact that Jesus calls him the Son of Man means he will be the son of a man. In Mark 8:38, Jesus also said when Baha'u'llah comes, he will be with holy angels. These holy angels are those who were martyred for the sake of Baha'u'llah's revelation, just as the apostles were martyred at the time of Jesus. In prophecies for the names of both Jesus and Baha'u'llah, the names were foretold in a different language. Isaiah prophesied that the first Messiah would have the Hebrew name Emmanuel, but when he came, he had the Greek version of that name, which is Jesus. The names Jesus and Emmanuel mean the same thing in different languages. Jesus foretold that the return of Christ would come as the glory of God the Father. But when he came, his title was Baha'u'llah. That's because this is the same name in a different language. In fact, Baha'u'llah is the way to say the glory of God the Father in Arabic and Persian as well as in the Aramaic language. Stephen, the first martyr of Christianity after Jesus had been crucified, also foretold the names of the second Messiah. After being accused of blasphemy, he was answering to the Sanhedrin, a panel of judges. What Stephen said to the judges is recorded in chapter 7 of the book of Acts in the Bible. After he was done saying his piece, the judges were grumbling among themselves, and Stephen, quote, full of the Holy Spirit, gazed into heaven and saw the glory of God, Baha'u'llah, and Jesus standing at the right hand of God. Zechariah also saw the two messiahs standing by God. He saw them as two olive trees. Olive oil used to be used as an oil to anoint kings. Olive oil comes from the olive trees, and it was used to light lamps, so it represented enlightenment. In his vision, Zechariah was told that the olive trees are, quote, the two anointed who stand by the Lord of the whole earth, unquote. These are very important proofs for the name of the return of Christ. It was foretold by many prophets that he would be named the glory of God the Father. He was seen in visions by Stephen, by Zechariah. He was foretold by name by Jesus, and so on. This is just a few of the prophecies for the name of the return of Christ, and in the next video we will talk about the date for the coming of the return of Christ. Thanks for listening.